Jury awards $45.2 million in punitive damages in Alex Jones Sandy Hook trial. U.S. conspiracy theorist Alex Jones ought to pay the parents of a 6-year-old boy killed within the 2012 Sandy Hook bloodbath $45.2 million in punitive damages on pinnacle of $4.1 million in compensatory damages already presented for falsely claiming the shooting became a hoax, a Texas jury determined on Friday. Neil Heslin and Scarlett Lewis, separated dad and mom of slain 6-year-old Jesse Lewis, testified that followers of Jones pressured them and dispatched them dying threats for years in the false perception that they had been mendacity. Approximately their son's loss of life in the December 14, 2012, taking pictures that killed 20 children and 6 staff at Sandy Hook Elementary School in Newtown, Connecticut. The 12 jurors decided at the punitive damages someday after determining the compensatory damages following a 2-week trial inside the defamation lawsuit presided over by using Judge Maya Guerra Gamble in Nation Court docket within the Texas capital of Austin, where Jones' radio show and Ferrite webcast InfoWars are based totally. Jones, a distinguished determined in American right-wing circles and a supporter of former President Donald Trump, had referred to as the Sandy Hook Massacre a U.S. government hoax staged using disaster actors to serve as a pretext for taking away Americans' guns. After the verdict, Lewis instructed journalists that the trial's outcome showed that, "we are able to select love," adding, "we're all responsible for one another." The dad and mom had sought $145.9 million in punitive damages and $150 million in compensatory damages. Compensatory damages are offered to cowl a plaintiff's suffering and losses. Punitive damages are presented to punish a defendant's movements. And lawyer for Jones, Federico Andino Reynal, had requested jurors to return a verdict of $270,000 in punitive damages primarily based at the variety of hours InfoWars dedicated to Sandy Hook coverage. Outside the courthouse, Reynal instructed newshounds the verdict became high but that Texas law caps punitive damages at $750,000 according to plaintiff. Reynal later informed he aimed to decrease compensatory damages at some point of the trial knowing there is a cap on punitive damages. "We continually knew that become going to be a backstop, so the strategy worked," Reynal said, relating to the cap. The punitive damages have been placed at $4.2 million for Jones defaming Heslin by means of wondering that he held his lifeless son after the capturing and $5 million apiece to Heslin and Lewis for mental ache. "We ask which you send a totally, quite simple message, and that is, stop Alex Jones. Stop the monetization of misinformation and lies." Wesley Todd Ball, NYSE, Ball, a legal professional for the dad and mom, informed jurors on Friday before they commenced deliberations on punitive damages. Jones sought to distance himself from the conspiracy theories at some point of his testimony inside the trial, apologizing to the mother and father and acknowledging that Sandy Hook turned into 100% actual. The Sandy Hook gunman, Adam Lanza, used a Remington Bushmaster rifle for the duration of the bloodbath, which ended whilst he killed himself with the sound of coming near police sirens. "Truly a bad actor," the Chews admonished Jones during the trial for now not telling the truth during his testimony about his financial disaster and lack of compliance with requests for files. Attorney Doug Morrell, a defamation litigation expert no longer involved inside the case, mentioned the query of Jones's truthfulness at the witness stand could have played a role inside the jury's award of punitive damages, noting that it's far uncommon to award considerably extra in punitive than compensatory damages. The jury might also have surely latched directly to their revulsion at the lies and determined Mr. Jones is honestly a horrific actor, Morrell instructed. Forensic economist Bernard Pittingle testified on Friday that Jones and InfoWars are worth among $135 million and $270 million combined. Jones' organization, Free Speech Systems LLC, declared financial ruin last week. Jones said at some point of a Monday broadcast that the filing will assist the business enterprise continue to be at the air at the same time as it appeals. The financial ruin assertion paused a similar defamation in shape via Sandy Hook dad and mom in Connecticut, in which, as in Texas, he has already been located dependable. The bankruptcy may even pause another defamation match by way of Sandy Hook mother and father in Texas, Raynal advised. During remaining arguments on Wednesday, Kyle Farrar, a legal professional for the mother and father, advised the jury to stop what he known as their nightmare and keep Jones chargeable for profiting off their son's dying.